The Dodgers and the Padres faced off, and of course we had some drama. Fernando Tatis Jr. versus Joe Kelly. We're going to break that down in just a moment. The Angels, they're fighting so hard to stay in the playoff race, but so are the Mariners, and both of those teams are facing off right now. And Bobby Witt Jr., he became the first player ever to put up this stat line. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we recap every single game, almost every single day. And a reminder, if you're going to any games, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off. You guys remember how we just had the home run derby in Seattle? Well, we saw a second home run derby down in Anaheim last night. We saw a combined 7 home runs. Ty France, there's a 3-run home run in the first. Luis Rengifo and Dylan Moore, they traded solo home runs. Mike Moustakas, he tied it at 5 on a 3-run long ball. He has 6 home runs and 17 RBIs in 29 games with the Halos. J-Rod, there he is hitting another one. That's a 2-run bomb for the lead, his 18th. He's 2 home runs away from back-to-back 2020 seasons. That's 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases. It's not tied anymore. He is the best Mickey in Anaheim right now. No, not Mickey Mouse. One day after going 0 for 4, he bounces back with his 12th home run. He has a 141 OPS plus. Who's going to be the hero in this one? Eugenio Suarez. That's his 10th consecutive game with an RBI. That sets a Mariners franchise record. Cal Raleigh, he belted the final home run of the night. He has 35 home runs over his last 162 games. No Paul Sewald, no Andres Munoz. Matt Brash got the save opportunity. He got it done with ease. The Mariners have won 3 games in a row, and the Angels, I'm so sad to say this, they've lost 4 in a row. The Yankees cannot afford to lose this game now that the Mariners are surging in the wildcard standings, but they were facing off against the Astros, and Luis Severino was on the mound, so this was pretty much a guaranteed loss. Rookie Yainer Diaz went yard in the first. He's hitting .275 with 14 home runs and an almost 120 OPS plus as a rookie catcher. You're going to take that every single time. New York, they tried to get back into it, but Jake Myers, he put everything on the line. He's top 7% in speed, outfield reaction, and outs above average. He is one of the few humans on planet Earth that could have made that grab. Jordan, he went 430 feet, and Kyle Tucker, he ran it up to 7 runs after a 2-run double. He almost has 80 RBIs on the season. Hunter Brown, he struck out Billy McKinney, his final strikeout of the night. A quality start for him. Houston, they do win big, but I do want to show this. Giancarlo Stanton, he has a home run in back-to-back games, 3 in a row. He has 10 home runs and 22 RBIs over his last 21. The Yankees, they're now 1 game back of the Mariners in the wild card. Corey Seager has been playing like a man amongst boys in 2023. He's basically hitting .350 with 17 home runs in 69 games. He has a career 133 OPS plus, so he is one of the best hitters I've ever seen. Leody Taveras, he ties it at 2 right after John Birdie of Miami went yard. But enter El Bombay. He did something you rarely see. He had 2 home runs, and they were inverse home runs. The first was a wall scraper at 334 feet, and then if you flip that, it's 433 feet. That's exactly how far his second home run went. He went 3 for 3. He has 28 home runs, 88 RBIs, and a 135 OPS plus. He gets better every single season. Jordan Montgomery, I do want to show that he made his Texas debut. He did allow 2 to score, but he struck out 6 over 6. He only needed 80 pitches to get through those 6 frames. The Rangers have won 4 in a row. That is massive because the Astros, they got back Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve from the IL. They traded for Justin Verlander. Framber threw a no-hitter. Like the Astros, they're firing on all cylinders, so the Rangers have to keep stacking W's. So we're going to talk Joe Kelly versus Fernando Tatis Jr. after the highlights, but because we talked about Corey Seager, let's talk about his former team, the Doyers. James Outman, he had a big night. First, he made a leaping catch to rob Fernando Tatis of a home run, and then right in front of Fernando Tatis's face in right field, he went yard. After San Diego got back into it and they took a 3-1 lead, James Outman, he singled in another, and then LA, they rallied again in the 8th inning. David Peralta, he started it with an RBI double, and after 2 walks with the bases loaded, Ahmed Rosario, he got to face a lefty, so of course he did that. He is very, very good against lefties. I will give Dodgers fans that. He jolted a 2-run single down the line to make it a 7 spot. Then in the next frame, he laid out to make an that was a sick grab right there. For all the hate that I gave him as a Guardians fan, I actually think he could be a solid defensive second baseman. He's got a noodle arm. He sucks going to his right, but going to his left, he's actually pretty good. The Dodgers, they get up to a 10 spot, but there's Soto again. He matches Stanton with the home run in 3 consecutive games, but he has 4 over his last 3 games. He has a career 159 OPS plus. He's going to walk into the Hall of Fame one day. Evan Phillips, he now has 14 saves on the season as the Dodgers beat the Padres 10-5. Now in this game, Joe Kelly faced off against Fernando Tatis Jr., and a lot of Dodgers fans were saying Tatis was being dramatic. He didn't have to drop the bat. That 98 fastball wasn't too close to him, but then on that one, that's where a lot of people have an issue with Joe Kelly. I mean, that's dangerous, and we all know that Joe Kelly has absolutely 0 command, so it's going to keep on happening. So I don't think it was intentional, but for Joe Kelly to say F and B about Fernando Tatis Jr. after Tatis struck out, walked back to the dugout, did not retaliate at all. I think that crosses a line, but then again, Joe Kelly, he's a maniac. That's why he's one of the most famous relief pitchers ever. So whose side are you on? Hey, Mets, where is thy pride? Have thou lost all dignity? Okay, I don't know what that was. I'm sorry, but man, the Mets stink. That's a 2-run single to Mets castaway James McCann. And skipping to the later half of this one, Baltimore, they really poured it on. James McCann ripped a 2-run double, giving him 4 RBIs against his former team. That's got to feel really good. Again, he was a castaway. Mets fans wanted him pretty much sent to a different country. Jordan Westburg, meet space. He went 430 feet on that 3-run home run. He has 9 extra base hits, 11 RBIs, and 3 DRS already in a handful of games. And the cherry on top, James McCann, he had a 5 RBI day to make it a 10 spot. The Mets have lost 4 games in a row. Their season is over. The Orioles, they're 26 games over 500. Before we talk Brewers, Reds, and that crazy NL Central division, let's talk about the team that just swept the Mets, the Royals. They're looking for their 7th win in a row, and after Nick Castellanos launched a first-inning 2-run home run, we had a tender moment between Phillies 8-hitter. I cannot believe that Trey Turner is now hitting 8. He got a standing ovation because he's been terrible. He's hitting 230 with a 78 OPS plus, but fans, they wanted to make sure that he felt supported. Nothing came of that at bat, but I did want to show it. That was right before Bobby Witt Jr. hit his 20th home run of the season. He became the first human ever to have 20 home runs and 30 stolen bases in his first 2 seasons. I think that J-Rod might, or did J-Rod get up to 30 last year? I don't remember. Philly, they stole the lead back on a 2-run double from rookie Johan Rojas, only to have Kansas City bust the doors down again, this time for a back-breaking 4th spot in the 6th inning. Michael Massey had a home run. They had RBI base hits from Freddie Fermin and Blanco. Blanco, his was a huge 2-run single. Kansas City has officially won 7 games in a row to improve to 21 games back in the AL Central. Here we go, the Brewers and the Reds games. The Brewers faced off against the Pirates, and this was a pretty easy game because they got embarrassed by Pittsburgh. Alfonso Rivas, go off, bro. He hit a long home run, and the Pirates, they finally showed up to play. Rivas with a 3-run tater. Rookie Henry Davis blasted off as well. That's a 2-run home run. The Pirates then went back-to-back in the 6th inning. Josh Palacios, he squared one up, and then Brian Reynolds ripped his 15th of the season. Not really much else to say. The Pirates win 8-4. Let's talk about the Reds game. Let's see if Cincinnati can gain some ground and capitalize on that Brewers L. And it started off quite nicely. Nick Senzel, he popped one out. Rookie Matt McLain might be approaching most underrated player in baseball status. He's hitting .310 with 37 extra base hits and a 140 OPS plus in his first 70 games. And look at Ellie De La Cruz, man. So inspirational. If Ellie can go yard off a lefty, we can as well. That's a joke. I love Ellie, but he's not very good against lefties. So hopefully on that swing, he can figure something out. He has 9 home runs and 17 stolen bases in his first 50 games. But remember how I said Matt McLain could be approaching most underrated? Not so fast, because Lane Thomas, he might be that guy right now. 435 feet on his first of 2 home runs. Stay tuned. Joey Meneses, he ties it. He's hitting .290 with 5 home runs and almost 20 RBIs over his last 21 games. Now this game's going to need extras, where Washington, they grabbed the lead on a double from Jake Alou, and like I said, Lane, he had 2 on the night. He's hitting .290 with 18 home runs, 12 stolen bases, and a 125 OPS plus. Kyle Finnegan, he's been nasty lately. He strikes out 2. The Reds, they lose to the Nationals 6-3. This was a funny game because every time the Arizona Diamondbacks scored, the Twins would immediately hit a home run. Lourdes hit a home run for the Diamondbacks. Jorge Polanco, he matched that with the home run. The Diamondbacks got a little infield RBI single from, I think his name is Emmanuel Rivera. How about a no-doubter from Max Kepler? And okay, Arizona didn't score before that, but Minnesota, they scored anyways. Michael A. Taylor, he's a strikeout machine, but man, his tools are fun. He has solid pop with 14 home runs. He has insane defense, and at 32 years old, he's still top 12% in sprint speed. Johan Duran, he's been pitching a lot lately, but he notched his 20th save. Twins fans, they just gotta hope that the Cleveland Guardians keep on losing as they beat the Diamondbacks 3-2. I'm happy to report that the Guardians, in fact, did not lose yesterday. They beat the White Sox. J-Ram, he singled home Andres Jimenez, and by the way, Andres was an extra base machine in this one. The score ended up 2-2 after the first 3, and it stayed that way into the 5th inning, but like I said, the extra base machine Andres Jimenez smoked a 2-run home run for the lead off of the former Cleveland starting pitcher Mike Clevenger. Jimenez, he had 2 doubles and a home run, so I need him to really step up in Josh Naylor's absence. Josh Naylor, he tore something in his oblique. He's going to be out anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. That sucks. Emmanuel Clase, he breezed through an easy 1-2-3-9 for his 29th save. The Guardians, they're still sitting at 2.5 games back. The Jays and the Red Sox, Toronto broke out the broomsticks early in this one. They bashed 3 home runs before the second came to a close. Whit Merrifield has 10 home runs and an almost 120 OPS plus. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in a down season has 18 home runs and a 120 OPS plus. It just shows how talented he is. Like, even when he's struggling, he's still very good. The former 28th round draft pick, Davis Schneider, he stepped up for his first career at bat and he went yard. That's why you keep on grinding a home run in his first ever at bat after finally getting called up. Jarren Duran, he answered with a 2-run blast in his 8th. It's 3-2, but Toronto, they're going to win easy. Springer, he extended their lead on an RBI double. Varsho, he connected on his 13th home run of the season, and Vladdy, he doubled in Springer later on in the 6th. And Chapman, he finished it off with his 15th home run. Also, I cannot forget to mention that newcomer Jordan Hicks, he got the save. He came in with a 3-run lead in the 8th, so even though the Blue Jays won by 4, he still gets credit for the save. The Jays, look at them, they're 11 games over 500. The Braves lineup welcomed back Max Fried with a nice little "we missed you" gif. Here's 7 runs in the 4th inning. Matt Olson, an RBI double. Sean Murphy and Marcell Ozuna both ripped home runs. And I just mentioned that Sean Murphy had 18 home runs and 66 RBIs in almost 150 games last year. He has 18 home runs and 60 RBIs in 79 games this year. Michael Harris, he got on with an RBI single, and Ronald, he tripled home his friend Michael for that 7th run. Back-to-back games where Ronald has 3 base hits. He's hitting .338 with an NL best 10.09 OPS. That should not be possible to lead an OPS while having 51 stolen bases by August 5th. Max Fried, he shoved all night long. He struck out 8 Cubs over 6 shutout innings. He got through those 6 on 72 pitches. Like, that's nasty, nasty. The Braves, they got even more unbeatable now that Fried is back. Austin Riley, I mean, he said, I wanted on the fun, and he just wanted to be mean at that point. He was greedy. Back-to-back games with the home run. He has 10 home runs over his last 20. Who's going to beat the Braves? Another 8-0 ball game. I'm so sorry, Tigers fans. Isaac Paredes and a Jose Siri, they quickly made it 4-zip after 2. They got 2 runs on a double from Isaac and then 2 on Jose Siri's 21st home run. Siri grabbed his 3rd RBI on a single in the 6th right before Tampa Bay. They went off for 3 RBIs. Yeah, it is now 8-0, and that was all for Rays starting pitcher Zach Littell, who went 6 shutout. He only had 1 strikeout. So see, kids, you don't need a bunch of Ks. Are they cool? Yes, but please hit your spots. The Rays have a plus 145 run differential, which is insane. That is second best in baseball, right behind the Rangers, who have a plus 163 run differential. The Rockies and the Cardinals, this was straight up a battle of the Nolans. I'll talk about that in a second. Rockies rookie Nolan Jones had a big night at the dish after struggling the last 2 weeks. He had 4 hits and 3 RBIs to lead the charge for the Rockies. All-Star Game MVP Elias Diaz, he played a 2 on an RBI single, and Ryan McMahon doubled in another. After 2 more RBI singles, it was 6-0, and Arenado, he got in on the RBI action with his 23rd home run, but Profar, he got it right back on another RBI single for Colorado. Wainwright, he was tagged for 7 runs, 9 hits. He came into 2023 with a career 3.38 ERA. After allowing 57 runs this year in 60-something innings, he now has a career 3.49 ERA. Right before the other Nolan, no, not Arenado, Nolan Gorman, bashed 2 home runs in a single game. He has 24 home runs on the season. By the way, Nolan Jones went 4 for 5. Nolan Gorman and Nolan Arenado each went 3 for 5. So if you're named Nolan, you're going to rake. That's how life is. The Rockies, they ended on like their 87th RBI single of the night. They beat the Cardinals 9-4. So nothing really changed in terms of the division standings. So let's take a look at the wild card. The Diamondbacks, they've lost 4 in a row. They're 3-7 in their last 10. So they're a game and a half. The Marlins are still a half game back. Then you have the Reds, the Phillies, and the Giants in it right now. With the Cubs, the Padres all within 4 games. And the AL, I mean, nothing really changed either aside from the Mariners. They keep on winning. They're 8-2 over their last 10. They're now ahead of the Red Sox and the Yankees at 2.5 games back of the Blue Jays for that final wildcard spot. Ooh, today's Immaculate Grid is different because there are no teams. It's just straight up stats. So 500 plus career home runs and a 300 batting average. I'm going to go Frank Thomas. 4%. Look at me go. 500 plus career home runs and a Gold Glove. Did what's his name? I can't think of his name right now, so I'm gonna not do that guy. Griffey. I'm gonna go Griffey because that one is an easy one. 16%. 500 plus career home runs and the Hall of Fame. Pujols is not in the Hall of Fame just yet. Ruth. I'm gonna go Babe Ruth. Let's see how many people. 18%. Okay. Silver Slugger and 300 batting average for his career, not in a season. Career batting average. Silver Slugger. Edgar Martinez. Let's go Edgar Martinez. Okay, Edgar Martinez, 2%, huge. Silver Slugger and a Gold Glove. I kind of want to go with Lindor. I feel like Lindor is a good one. Let's go Francisco Lindor. Lindor was 0.8%. Silver Slugger, who is in the Hall of Fame. I could go with Mickey Mantle. I could go with someone like Willie Mays. I'm trying to think of someone who's in the Hall of Fame. Maybe Robin Yount or someone crazy like Brooks Robinson. Did Brooks Robertson ever win a Silver Slugger? I'm going to go with kind of a Jim Thome. I'm going to go Jim Thome because I'm pretty sure that he won a Silver Slugger. 4%, look at me go. 300 career batting average, who also won an MVP. A-Rod, I'm pretty sure that A-Rod, no, did A-Rod ever finish? I'm pretty sure that A-Rod hit over 300. Maybe a Rafael Palmeiro. I think Alex Rodriguez has a career batting average. No, A-Rod had, I thought for sure A-Rod hit over 300. An MVP and a Gold Glove. MVP, Gold Glove. I'm going to go Pujols because I know that he did that quite often. I also could go with Paul Goldschmidt. I'm going to go with Paul Goldschmidt actually because I feel like that might be a sneakier pick. 8%, okay, maybe not so much. Hall of Fame and MVP. Dale Murphy is someone that should be in the Hall of Fame, but he won an MVP a couple different times, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. Let me just try. Eddie Murray. Did Eddie Murray ever win? Frank Robinson. I'm going to do Frank Robinson because he won an MVP in both. 2%. That was actually, my rarity score was way better, 155. Silver Slug. Oh, wait. Ichiro. Ichiro had a 300 career batting average and an MVP. I'm stupid. And also, Paul Goldschmidt was the most for MVP and Gold Glove. I should have gone with Pujols. But that was fun. I like the stats ones. That's the first one I've ever done, and more of that, please. That does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching. If you watched all the way until the end, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.